basketball on his fucking graduation day. And look at all these people. We out here ducking. They done shot 2 people. They shot some parents and every fucking thing out here at Huguenot graduation. They got the little boy out there stretched out. And this is fucked up, man.
Hey, black women. All right, I just wanted to do a little commentary on this video where supposedly a 19-year-old shot up graduation and killed 2 people, left 5 people injured, right? And black male, of course. So my issue is not with what happened, because you cannot control people. My issue is with when other black women like Cara D, right, come on YouTube and they make everything that another person does about black women. That is the most ignorant shit in the world to do. I mean, it just is the epitome of black women hate and us hating on each other for unknown reasons. Like, I don't know what her issue is with black women, but she's one herself. So, you know, she need to be careful about how she depicts black people, because the same insults could be hurled back at her, whether or not she has children. Here's the thing. Being a black woman with sons and a mother, period, of which I understand she is not. Look, those women, regardless of how they raise their children, have no control over teenagers or young males when they get to the point where they are going to do what they want to do regardless of how they were raised, which is something clearly she doesn't understand and doesn't even want to take the time to understand, right? Everything with her is blame black women this, blame black women. She might as well be one of these manosphere black dudes, seriously, because she's not understanding that there are so many contributing factors to why these kids act the way they do. Number one, they live in impoverished areas where they have every single type of... You welcome, babe. Don't worry about that. Whenever they put that thing on your car, go online. There are only 4 keys that unlock those tire locks, and you can buy them. You can even buy them out the locksmith store, right? And then the only thing you got to make sure to do is give them their property undamaged. But, right, because legally they could sue you, so you don't want that. Right. Yeah. And yo, it's not illegal to take that off your car. Just know that. Even if you don't, read the law, okay? All right? Because they're really not supposed to be doing that, but because we don't fight, they do it. Right, so I'm sorry about that, y'all. So anyway, here's the thing, right? She doesn't think about how these children groom themselves and how every single dude in their neighborhoods help them to live out this wannabe gangster lifestyle, regardless of how many mothers like myself and others I have seen and I know exist, run through all the neighborhoods chasing down their sons, like literally beating the shit out of them. Because I know when my son was 17 and he kept hanging around a particular group of boys that I know were literally up to no good, I literally went outside and fucked him up with a baseball bat. Broke his arm too, but that's just too bad because he would not listen to me. So when this woman is talking all this off the top of her head, emotional shit, that does happen a lot with women that date these white men. They seem to become like racist white people. Well, they can't be racist because they don't have power. Only real racist people with systems have are racist because they have the power to oppress and suppress. So being so racially prejudiced towards their own kind and always looking for the easiest damn blame or excuse to just put it off on somebody else instead of holding the individual kid, the whole culture of where they come from responsible. Like this kid, this is not even a kid. This young man is 19 years old. No matter what state in America you live in, he's legally grown. So therefore his mother has no legal responsibility for his actions. Now if he's 17, yes she does, and everything below. But this person is 19. And they clearly have already made a decision in their life that they are not going to be a law-abiding citizen. They intend to be a menace to society, and they want to hurt people as much as they can. When you have enough gumption in you to kill somebody, you are really a hopeless individual. I'm telling you seriously. Now, me, I have only killed one person in life, and that was in relation to my job, right? That shit literally fucked with me for years because it was messing with my conscience, okay? Now, I have no problem hurting people to the point of death because they're not dead. And so, therefore, in my mind, the way my mind works is, I'm okay. You're most welcome. I'm very okay with fucking you up and leaving you damn near dead, but you still not dead. So my conscience is clear with that. So, but when she's doing all this talking about, oh, the black mothers, they don't raise these kids right. They're the ones causing all these problems. They don't even teach their kids not to bully and have decent manners in school, etc., etc., etc. Let me tell you something, firsthand experience and real true story. That's not true. Me, I was a helicopter mother, whatever you want to call it. Like, everything those kids did, I was right there, making sure they understood how they were supposed to behave, what they were supposed to do. Still, with all that instruction, my youngest son, Latif, when he was like 10 years old, he was in school doing all types of shit I did not approve of, would ever be okay with, or even stand there and side with my son over him doing the wrong thing. So this is a real reality about a lot of black mothers. And I don't like when we get the flack of the influence of music, videos, movies, culture, YouTube, every other social media, relatives, friends, OG gangster reputations of really severe criminals in the neighborhood. All that shit plays into these young boys' minds, and these older males that know better, who do not ever check each other and teach the young boys to do the right thing, because these old guys and these haters out here who have been in and out of jail, they don't have nothing to look forward to in life. They do nothing more than love to destroy another young boy's life, because they have an ignorant mentality. Like, and believe me, I'm related to a couple of them, so I know what I'm talking about. They have the belief that if nothing worked out well for them, why the fuck should it work out for you? If I didn't have enough sense to go to school, graduate, do something with my life, become gainfully employed, have a decent family, have some self-esteem and respect and some discipline about me, why the fuck should I promote that in you? I'm going to die miserable and have nothing, and people going to treat me like shit. So I want the same fucking thing for you. She's not factoring in any of that stuff when she's doing all this putrid talking about what black women are responsible for, when most black women are not responsible for that shit. Not at all. Like, I'm sending my youngest son to school with proper etiquette education, with proper civility education, with proper manners education, and proper parental guidance information, and hovering. And this little motherfucker was still in school fighting with other children. In a couple of the cases, we found out that he was fighting because people were bothering him, bullying, and etc. Okay, right? Granted, somebody's messing with you, you fight, it's over. We move on, we go forward. But in situations when you live in areas where there are gangs, because we got gangs here in New York City, they just not as prevalent in other areas of the state, where people feel like if they don't belong to the gang, their life is in jeopardy, or people going to literally come and kill you because you left the gang. Like, she's not thinking about any of this stuff. She's just spewing out all this, oh, I just hate other black women shit, and just spewing it. Like, dude, take a breath. All right? Maybe you need to chill for a moment, or stop having that white person or being around white people proximity perspective. This is not all black women's fault. This is white people's fault. This is the black men's fault that left these children, abandoned them, don't give them proper direction, don't give a fuck about what happens to them, and also encourages them to be these fucking savage animals that run around dealing drugs on our street, doing drive-bys, and living lives that result in them running in and out of jail. So please cut the bullshit. All right? Black women also contribute to it. Those that have those same mindset of these low performing, undesirable black males who do not give a fuck what their children do, and who also sometimes advocate for the ridiculous shit that they do. Granted, that is part of the equation, but to blame all this shit on black women, please stop it. Please fucking stop it. Be legitimate in your beef or your argument if you're going to give one, and give everybody their full claim to the dysfunction of this society. And it first starts with fucking white people if you really want to be truthful about it. Because these bad fucking communities we live in, if these white people weren't so fearful of having revenge taken out on them for all of the crimes against humanity they committed against black people, we would not be subject to low education, poor housing, poor societies and communities we live in, lack of opportunity, unlike everyone else, disenfranchisement, overly incarcerated. All of these things are not a fucking figment of our imagination. They are created and intended to hold black people back because of the fear that these white people in this country have for being dealt with appropriately for all of the wrong, evil, hateful fucking things they have done. Then when you add on top of that the trauma and the effects of trauma from living in these bad communities, with some communities are really unsafe and give people post-traumatic syndrome, and then on top of that black people go through a psychological like dysmorphia, where it's like polymorphic trauma, where you constantly going in and out of one trauma after another trauma, where your mind never has no real peace and you can't rest or feel safe. You feel, it's a term called hyper-ghetto. You feel continuously hopeless and helpless. She doesn't talk about any of that shit. All she wants to do is take the easy way out, which is what all these people on here do. Like those black women that do it, and all these males, especially black males, even to the point of killing black women and little girls, is because they have such a hatred for black women that is completely fucking unnormal, right? And unnatural. Even the fucking wind is screaming that this type of bullshit is unnatural. This is what they do. Black women are to blame for everything. You everybody's fucking problem, but then you supposed to be expected to be everybody's fucking savior at the same time. Come on, girl, make up your mind. Either tell the truth or leave the conversation at all, because this is not all about black women and how they don't raise their kids. Good night, y'all.